Hey all, good morning and welcome to ShareTrek. This is Raj here. The pre-market action was strongly bullish at 7 a.m. when I started this recording. Let's see what the market has in store for us today. Let's get started. Welcome back, friends. At the time of recording, the Dow Jones futures, S&P futures, and Nasdaq futures were all up 1.14%, 1.38%, and 1.64% respectively. These are huge numbers, so a bullish opening is assured. Apparently, this bullishness is due to strong bank results last week. Now, let me ask you a question. If the banks do strong business, doesn't it show that the economy is strong? Or maybe it shows that the banks have boosted their interest income and therefore they are showing good results. So let's take for the example, if the bank results indicate strong economy, would the Fed not go ahead and increase interest rates to control the inflation with less worry about recession? On the other hand, if the bank results indicate greater interest income, would that not mean that the housing sector and the businesses would suffer due to higher cost of borrowing and more stringent vetting for lending? So these questions are not at the forefront of the investor right now, in my personal opinion. Approaching seller fatigue, many choose to look just at the strong earnings and celebrate. At least that's what I think. I think that even though we have seen huge drops in the indices, we are not yet done. The Federal Reserve has two interest rate hike dates. These are scheduled for November 2nd and December 14th. And also, if we have a rally at this point of time, how are we going to get the Santa Claus rally and the post-election rally? So something seems to be a bit off here, in my opinion. So I expect the rally to fizzle out when people come to their senses, maybe later on today or maybe tomorrow. I would treat the present rally as a bear market rally. I've already sold FNGU day before at a 16% profit. I'm waiting to buy on the fall. Please let me know what you guys think and what is your strategy. Please put it in the comments so that I can get a reality check from you guys. And let's now go ahead and take a look at the pre-market action. Well, friends, here we are in the Nasdaq futures chart. And as you can see, we have just popped out of the bear channel at this point of time. And I'm still cautious because in the past we have broken out of bear channels and the next day we have come down. So a repeat of this possibility is there, which happened on 12th of September 2022, where we broke out of the bear channel. And then on 13th of September 2022, we fell down back right deep in the middle of the bear channel. So those kind of things can happen. We have higher volatility. And as you can notice out here, the Nasdaq futures momentum is still not above 50%. So it is dubious, but the MACD is bullish. So let's hope for the best. And suffice to say that we are opening bullish this morning. US oil is down 0.69%. And all the talk about production cut has gone into the back burner. But there's a momentary truce for a period of a month. So somewhere in another next 10 days or so, we should see oil rearing up again because the controversy will come back again, or maybe the OPEC has backed down. So we don't know the details. People in the oil industry would know about it. But right now, this downtrend in the oil price is pretty good for the economy. And if you look at QQQ, it was already up 3.3% yesterday, and it's already up 1.85% in pre-market action. But if you zoom out, you can see that we are in a very strong bear channel, which has held us all the way from 22nd of December 2021, or for that matter, if you go ahead from 19th November 2021, we have always been inside this range. So I think that we need to break out of this diagonal red line of resistance for Nasdaq, for QQQ, in order for us to see consistent gains in the market. Let's look at S&P 500, which was up 2.57% yesterday, and today it's up 1.56%. And if you look at the bear channel out here, we have this diagonal red line of resistance. We have just broken out of it as of yesterday. And today, the candle is yet to form. It's at 1.50 again, so it's out here. And when you look at the price action out here, it shows clearly that we are out of the bear channel. But we have been out of the bear channel in the past, somewhere around the 12th of September. And then the very next day, we promptly fell very fast. So I would still reserve my opinions on this. Of course, we have converted this resistance at 369.94 into a support. I'll mark that as a support. Our next resistance is going to be at 376.38. Next, let us go on to have a look at the Russell Index. Russell Index has got a support at 172.14 because pre-market it's already at 174.92, which is somewhere out here. So the next resistance for us is the minor line of resistance at 176.49. And if you look at the MACD, it is bullish and momentum is already up to 50%, almost close to 50%. So anything can happen. Pre-market, we are up 1.62%. Now let's look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It's up 1.77% as of yesterday. And today pre-market, it's up 1.30%. So we have definitely converted this line of resistance at 301.49 into a line of support. And we have also crossed our minor line of resistance, which was at 305.62, because right now we are at 305.98, up 1.30%. So our next resistance is going to be at 310.69. MACD is bullish and momentum is just about touching the 50% line. And in the past, when we have reached 50%, we have kept going for at least a day. So I'm hoping that we continue for a little more. So maybe this rally may last for more than a day, maybe 2 days before we come back again. So if you look at the past, we have gone above 50 and then come down, bounced along 50 and come down, with going at the most up to 54.98. So if we were to go up to 54.98 out here, I think that we might somehow be able to come very close to the, I think, this thick blue line which we see out here, which happens to be the 100-day simple moving average sitting at 315.32. So that's the maximum extent of rally that I see at this point of time. If you look at VIX, VIX is down 1.37%, which is absolutely perfect. And keeping in line with my thesis that we probably might have a rally for more than a day or so, we have this diagonal line of support out here for the bull channel. And if we keep coming down out here, then I think that we are likely to end up at around 29.29 at the best case scenario before we start testing the bull channel out here. And that would mean that if we bounce off this bull channel, the markets will come down. So that is a little more, I think VIX is a little bit more forgiving out here with more scope for falling down further. So let us see what happens when we look at the market open. Now, I'm going to look at the US dollar index, and US dollar index is up 0.08%, which is still a little bit benign compared to where it was in the past. And we are coming very close to testing the diagonal line of support for the bull channel out here. And now our 10-day simple moving average of 13,450.19 is most likely to become a resistance. Right now we are at 13,448.02, which means we are slightly below it. So we'll have to see whether this converts itself into a resistance this morning and after the market open. And if so, we'll test the bottom of this bull channel. And then if we fall down below that, then our next line of support is going to be somewhere out here, which is going to be 13,292.21. So that's where I think we would end up if we break below this horizontal line of support. Our MACD is bearish and momentum is above average but slightly flat. We'll see what happens later on in the morning. Let's go and have a look at the index influencer to see if they give us any direction. And the direction is screamingly loud. We are absolutely positive when it comes to Microsoft. We are up 1.78%. And part of the enthusiasm for Microsoft is also because Microsoft has announced a 1% reduction in its job force. And that means that there's going to be savings in salaries. And its cloud revenues for Microsoft Office, sorry, not cloud revenues, but its revenues for Microsoft Windows is down in line with the fall in the PC sales. And that's the reason why the headcount cut is being undertaken. But many other companies in the tech sector have already done headcount cutting. You'll recollect in the past 2 months, we have had a huge cut in headcount. So I think this is sympathetic to the fact that the fixed costs are going down for Microsoft, and therefore the profit margin will be protected. And that's the relief rally that we are seeing out here, which has converted this resistance at 238.81 now into a support. And our next resistance is going to be somewhere out here at 244.94. I'm just going to draw a line out here so that you can see it. This is where we are going to have our next resistance. And it's at 245.15. I'm going to mark this red so that you know that it's a resistance. Apple is also up sharply 1.54%, and it has overcome the resistance at 142.27. So I'm going to mark this as a support. And our 9-day simple moving average is now support, and it was sitting at 141.95. Pre-market, we are at 144.60, which is this orange line out here, if you can see it. And anyway, I'm going to mark a line of resistance that we are likely to face next, and that's going to be at 146.58. This is a minor line of resistance because it's being tested by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days out here and a few days in the past. But it's not a clear-cut resistance, but the one line of resistance that we are going to pass through, I'll call it a minor line of resistance at 146.58. And if I look at Amazon, it's very strongly up 2.38%. It's already gone past a very strong resistance of the 10-day simple moving average and a horizontal line of resistance at 115.08. Right now we are at 116.49, and therefore I think our next line of resistance is going to be a minor line of resistance at 116.49. I'm going to mark the past resistance into a support at 115.08. So that said, our MACD is bearish and momentum is sharply picking up, but it's way below 50%. So I don't know how much power Amazon can hold. Google is up 2.17%, very sharply up this morning, still below 50% on the momentum chart. And MACD is bullish and moving away from the signal line. And our next line of resistance is going to be at 105.06. Right now we are at 102.97. And I think I'll put another minor line of resistance somewhere out here at 103.91. Just going to pull it down a little bit. Please bear with me. It's going to be at 103.81. That's our next minor line of resistance. And after that, we have a resistance which is at 105.06. So prospects of the index movers moving up further this morning is pretty good, but somewhere around 10 o'clock, I would be very careful. I would like to watch the action at 10 o'clock to see that it doesn't reverse, because the momentum jump is very steep in all the cases. And that said, let us go and have a look at the commodities. Wheat is up again, and it has bounced off the line of support that we have from the previous resistance line of the bear channel from the past. So the new bear channel is still intact and it's moved up, and I think our 10-day simple moving average, which is sitting at 75.54, is going to perform the role of interim support, and our resistance is going to be the 50-day simple moving average, which is sitting at 76.26, and our bottom line support is again going to stay somewhere on this diagonal green line of support, which is going to be at 74.49. That said, copper is again fallen down. It's still consolidating in a range, so I'm not going to worry too much about it at this point of time. Let's go on and have a look at Genomics. I'm just going to sort this out to get the biggest winners on the top. Teladoc was up 6.35% yesterday, and pre-morning action shows that it's up 2.34% already this morning. And we still have resistance from the 10-day simple moving average at 25.40. And all the indicators out here, MACD and momentum, are weak. Beam was up 5.94% yesterday, and today pre-market we are up 0.02%, which is a very, very mild increase. 10-day simple moving average at 48.57 is still going to be a resistance for us, and our minor line of support still rests at 46.29. Our MACD is slightly bullish, whereas momentum is below average, so that's not very strong at this point of time. Verve was up 5.89% yesterday, and today pre-market there are no trades. So we have a situation where 33.69 continues to be a resistance for us. We have fallen below that support, and we have a MACD which is bearish and a momentum which is below 50%. So there is weak indicators out here, and I will wait to see what happens when the market opens. PACB was up 5.57% yesterday, and we still have a resistance at 7.06. Our MACD is bullish, and our momentum is above average and pushing up. So I think I would see a little more improvement in PACB in line with the bullish sentiment in the market. And if you look at Editas, it was up 4.92% yesterday. Pre-market, it is still flat. And our 10-day simple moving average at 12.14 continues to be a resistance. And the next line of resistance is going to be at 13.14. MACD is bullish, slightly bullish, and momentum is still way below average. So I don't hold much hope about it, except the fact that there is a bullish sentiment in the market. So you may see a bit of greens. I don't think it is going to stay for long. Bluebird is up 4.85% as of yesterday, and today pre-market it's up 0.60%. We are still within the two ranges that I had plotted, a support at 6.44 and a resistance at 6.86. That's what I'm going with today. The MACD is already turned around the signal line, It's ready to cross over to the bearish side. Momentum is just above average and pointed upwards, up 0.60% pre-market. I'm still hopeful of blue making a little bit more positives because it has fallen from its peak of 7.56. But understandably, we don't have any new information about how Bluebird is going to commercialize Zinteglo and Skysona. That's what the market is waiting for, and they are still hopeful of something positive happening. So I think Bluebird will continue to consolidate, and potentially it has a chance of moving up a little bit before coming back down to a resistance or a support of 6.44. That said, ARCG was up 4.65% yesterday, no trades pre-market. Intelia was up 4.20% yesterday, pre-market it's up 2.18%. We still have strong resistance at 56.47. I'm going to mark this red because it's with the confluence of the 10-day simple moving average, which is sitting at 56.52. And immediately after that, we have got the 100-day simple moving average, which is this thick blue line, sitting at 57.52. So there are strong headwinds for Intelia. MACD is bearish and momentum is also below average. But the pre-market indications are bullish, so I would say that a little bit of bullishness is in store for Intelia. But if the markets were to turn around, Intelia is going to be quickly losing those values. CRISPR Therapeutics was up 4.18% yesterday, and today pre-market it's up 2.95%, and our resistance is at 59.23. We have MACD, which is bearish, and momentum, which is below average. It's somewhere around 37% on the momentum chart. So I think it's pretty weak, but the overall bullish sentiment is giving it some hope. Illumina was up 3.91% yesterday, and today pre-market it's up 1.01%, and we still have resistance, which is going to be at 210.87. And I think that given the fact that momentum is above average and MACD is already bullish, I think we are going to be able to break through this line of resistance at 210.87 and convert that into a support today. Invitae is up 2.75% this morning pre-market as compared to being up 3.81% yesterday. So we have a very strong support at 2.15, and our next resistance is going to be at 2.56. Because the base value of this stock itself is low, the higher percentage of returns do not translate to many cents of gain out here. The MACD is bearish and the momentum is also way below average. So it's a range bound, it's consolidating, that's what I would say. IDNA was up 3.26% yesterday and no trades pre-market. And let us look at DNA. DNA was up 1.54% yesterday and it's up 3.42% again this morning. So we have support at 2.68%, and our resistance is going to be the three simple moving averages, which are the 10-day, 50-day, and 100-day simple moving averages respectively. They are sitting at 2.99 and 2.96. So two of the simple moving averages are at 2.99. So that's a very strong resistance, followed by a resistance at 3.61. That said, IMTX was up 0.99% yesterday, and pre-market there are no trades at this point of time. And if you look at the diagonal line of support that is valiantly trying to support the price, we'll see what happens this morning. And if we continue to stay above that, I think we'll convert our 50-day simple moving average, which is this thick orange line, into a support, which is sitting at 11.16 right now. And yesterday we closed at 11.60. So there's a very strong support working there, and I hope that prevails so that we stay on top of the diagonal line of support of a bullish channel. Otherwise, our 10-day simple moving average at 10.85 has to give us support. Allogene was up 0.88% yesterday, no trades pre-market. Caribou Biosciences was up 4.43% yesterday, no trades pre-market. SQZ Biotech was down 9.69%, no trades pre-market. I'm waiting for SQZ Biotech to fall further, and somewhere closer to around 2.19. I would definitely take a bite at it. I have made profits in the past at that price range. So let's hope for the best out here, because MACD is tending towards the signal line and momentum has already fallen below 50%. So a lot of weakness in store for SQZ Biotech. Worthwhile buying it at the bottom. At this point of time, when I'm playing around with Genomics, I'm just looking at the stocks which are either very, very inexpensive to buy or the ones that have got some approval in place. So my targets are typically SQZ, DNA, Invitae, and then Bluebird. So those are the four stocks that I focus on for making some kind of money in this market, because with the volatility that we see here, it lends itself to a smaller budget and lesser risk. So that said, My friends, this brings me to the end of this video, and I hope you like this video. Be careful in the market. Don't get carried away with the exuberance. Always double check everything. If your logic says that the market is too exuberant, believe your logic and be safe. And this is also an opportunity for selling calls wherever it's profitable, because sooner rather than later the market is going to come down, in my opinion, and those calls will give you some money. And of course, if you like this video, please do not hesitate to put a like out there. It helps the channel. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and help me grow this channel. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.